you don't see big developments going up as suburbs of Ozona. There's a reason that they're here for San Antonio. San Antonio provides the jobs, it provides a lot of expensive services that enable people to bring corporations in and provide the jobs. Police forces, people who live out there often go to work in town. They sometimes use the library. They certainly use the parks. So why shouldn't they, share some of the responsibilities for making it the kind of city that the majority of people want it to be?
Well, I don't know that I can address the issue of responsibility, but if I could, I'd like to go back to the heritage tree thing and point out the inequity I mentioned a while ago. Under the current ordinance, if I have a 36-inch oak tree, a heritage oak tree that I need to remove because it's in a place that I just can't, I've got to remove it in order for my development to work. If I remove one tree, I have to mitigate that tree at 3 to 1. So that means I've got a 36-inch oak tree, I've got to mitigate 108 inches of tree times $200. So if I take it out and I want to pay into the tree fund, it's going to cost me $21,600 into the tree fund. Now that money goes into the city and stays in the city. If I plant trees, now that 36-inch oak tree covers, according to city calculations in their tree preservation ordinance, roughly 4,200 square feet. If I go to plant trees, I have to plant 108 inches. The minimum tree I can plant is 1.5 inches in diameter, so I have to plant 72 trees. Based on the city's own estimate of what they're having to spend in the parks of $155 a tree, that means I'm going to spend $11,600. So the question becomes, I've cut down the tree. Why am I paying $10,000 more in cash than it cost me to plant the trees? And oh, by the way, if I plant those 72 trees, it covers, based on the growth rates in the tree preservation ordinance, 62,000 square feet. It covers over 1.4 acres. So to take down one tree, I have to either plant enough trees to cover 1.4 acres solidly, or I got to pay $21,600. That's just not right.
Is that your understanding of how it works?
Well, I don't know about all of those figures, but obviously the tree ordinance is designed so that you don't cut down that tree and you don't have to spend the money. You might want to work around leaving that tree there, and that's the idea. Also, you don't make things right by paying in a little money and cutting down a tree that it took 100 or 150 years to grow. We have heritage trees here that were here at the time of the Alamo. And destroying our heritage should bring a pretty hefty penalty. So all of that is designed to keep our forest and keep our natural South Texas heritage that we're proud of. We want it the way it was, and if you insist on doing it, then it's going to cost some money. And to plant a bunch of new little seedlings where you had a tree that's been growing for 6 or 7 generations is not a good swap.
We're not talking seedlings. You got the last word on the broadcast show. I'm going to give you the last word in this portion.
Well, again, I come back to the question: if the tree's gone and you have a chance to either mitigate it through planting $11,000 worth of trees, or you have to pay $21,000, and you don't, and it's physically impossible to use that much space if you plant 72 trees on your project, you're being assessed an unfair penalty. If the mitigation is $11,000 for planting it, it ought to be $11,000 for paying into the fund.
Thank you very much.